So I was having a conversation about last week, and in this conversation, one of the ladies brought up how she has been allowing herself to be silenced because she felt like what she had to say wasn't valuable, but she knew that she was called to speak, so it's like she was dealing with some type of insecurity. And that resonated with me beyond anything. Because if you've ever been the person where like you're in a group setting and like for some reason everybody can get their point across, and for some reason you're the person that everybody talks over, or people just stop listening in the middle of you talking, or whatever, it starts to become like an insecurity, and you start to have this negative self-talk where it's like, well, maybe I don't have anything valuable to add to the conversation, or maybe people don't care what I have to say. Stop it. And talking to myself, because when you know that you have a powerful voice, and you know that you are supposed to be using your voice to bring change, that is what will be attacked. So that inner voice of, you have nothing to say, people don't care what you're talking about, all that's an attack. And our job, now that we have identified that, is to rebuke that attack. So whenever you are in those situations where you are even, and I'm talking to myself because I just did this, where you are even almost asking for permission to speak, let me tell you what I did. So I am one of the group leaders for a women's home, right? And mind you, I'm still dealing with this whole using my voice thing. I'm 31, I'm about to be 32 years old, whole grown woman with kids and a husband and a family and everything. I'm way too old for this, but whatever, we're dealing with it. And this is a room that I help facilitate. I am one of the leading voices in this room. You belong here, girl. You belong here. Why am I asking for permission to speak in a room that I am partly responsible for facilitating? What are you doing? Stop doing that. You belong here. Say it with your whole chest. Okay? And what I'm realizing as I'm beginning to use my voice more is that people feel things when I speak. People feel things when I use my voice how I'm supposed to use my voice. When I'm using my voice as part of my calling, when I'm using my voice in a Holy Spirit-led way, people feel things. People feel conviction, and people take action on the things that they feel. Do you know how dangerous that is? And that is why when you are someone who is called to speak, or someone who is called to use your voice, that is why the enemy attacks that. Because if people feel things when you speak, they feel conviction when you speak, and then take action off of the things that they heard you say, that is wreaking havoc. That is wreaking havoc on the enemy and his territory. So, what we are going to do going forward, Paige Nicole, talking to myself. Paige Nicole, what we are going to do going forward is we are no longer asking for permission to speak, whether it's a room you facilitate or not, because your voice is valuable. And we have seen the evidence of what happens when you use your voice. So what we are going to do going forward, Paige Nicole, is we are going to say everything that we say with our full chest. Everything. And we're not asking for permission to do it. All right. That's my little TED Talk for the day.